Friday.
On a Friday. This is Friday edition. Oh my God. Hey, what's up, America? Welcome to the show. This is the Eric and Rodney show with Robin. It's presented by, the Eric and Rodney show with Robin. Hey, listen, are you a big dumb idiot? Of course you're not watching the show. Do you want to be on the show because you're not a big dumb idiot? Head on over to the ericandrodneyshow.com and fill out an application. Now, do you want to be on other shows because you understand the value of getting your voice out there? We can do that for you too. We can book you on other shows. Go to the ericandrodneyshow.com. Hey, are you not a big dumb idiot? Do you want your own show? Because it's great. It's got me fame, fortune, groupies, a drug problem. I can't get enough of it. Head on over to the ericandrodneyshow.com. We'll get you your own show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from EverSpark Interactive, Moe and Jordana. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Oh boy, that was a high energy intro for a Friday.
You finally perfected the new intro.
That's impressive.
Yeah, right. This is like my 6th intro in 6 months. I'm trying them all out. None have worked.
Yeah, we're
so
trying
far.
them all.
Do you make a script for the intro? Do you make a script for the intro? You just riff off.
No, I riff. I'm an improv guy. Even though I think improv is the lowest form of comedy, it's what I do. It's a grand irony. I think
it's the first time he's got it right. So
yeah. Well, here's the thing. I fucked up 50
out.
times, so it's essentially scripted by this point. I say the same thing and fuck it up every time. Anyway, I don't know if you guys have seen the show, but it's a lot like what you just saw. This is the structure is the first half hour. We talk about the news because America demands our opinions on such things. Then it's the EverSpark Interactive hour. That portion of the evening is going to be the second half, and we're going to have big conversations about marketing. It's going to be great.
That's the nightgown portion.
That's
question answering. Yeah.
We're in the bikini section right now. So before we get to the news, though, every day in the United States is some exciting day, some reason to celebrate, something about cupcakes or cigarettes. I don't know. What's today? Well, I do know. Ooh, this is a rough one. It's World Vasectomy Day.
I thought it was going to be World Cigarette Cupcake Day, but I was going to get wrong.
No cigarettes and no cupcakes today, but it is World Vasectomy Day. So I just wanted to run through some vasectomy statistics, if you would bear with me for a second. Okay, you ready?
Not a lot of shares here.
Not a lot of shares. Not a lot of vasectomies in the United States. The first vasectomy was performed in 1823 on a dog. Okay, it gets worse. Anesthesia wasn't invented until 1846, so that poor dog had to do it without any pain meds. Now, so the first one, 1823 on a dog. The first vasectomy on a man was in 1897. 1897. People say the first guy that ate a lobster or an oyster was brave. The first man to get a vasectomy was much braver. Just pull out. Jesus.
Did he have a choice? I'm not sure he had a choice.
But by 1920, it was very popular. Sigmund Freud went out and got himself a vasectomy. Today, only 4% of men have vasectomies. Robin, are you vasected?
Not yet. Might consider it.
Mo, Rodney, anybody have a vasectomy on the show?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
This is a controversial opinion here, but hear me out. So I know I mentioned my cat earlier. This is the one that just got spayed. She's laying with my son when he was 6. See, cats, beautiful animals. But so we understand that spaying animals and neutering animals makes all the sense in the world because they're not equipped to take care of babies, right? My son's not equipped to take care of babies. He may not be until he's 35. Don't you think maybe, I know this is real controversial, can't we just vasectomize male children and then unvasectomize them once they get married and have a job and have a certain credit score?
Wait, you can unvasectomize people?
Oh, you can unvasectomize.
Yeah, you can reverse them.
They singed the vas deferens, and they can unsinge it and then singe it back together. I don't know. I'm not a penis doctor.
One side does this. When you go into the factory, one side is doing, one side is undoing. It's like the Twix factory, left and right.
Yes.
Why do we want to vasectomize kids?
Well, I want to vasectomize kids because there's 13.6 single-parent households in the United States. Now, I'm not judging, but statistics say that it's much easier in a 2-parent household. Children seem to be happier, according to this, studies, and it's easier financially in a 2-parent household. Now, of those 13.6 single-parent households, 80% are women, which means the guys are not sticking around, right, for whatever reason. So my point is, if we're failing 80% of the time to stick around, maybe there needs to be some qualifying factors, and I think I should be in charge.
Interesting take.
What do you think?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, a credit score, a job, certain amount of money in the bank. I don't know. That
makes too much sense. It's too much sense.
Yes, no arguments against that. Human sense.
Right. I think if a 15-year-old boy can make a baby, should he be able to? Probably not. right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you want to go to something less controversial? The war in Ukraine.
Not controversial.
All right, teed up, Robin. What do you got? You pick these stories, so it's the blood's on your hands.
So I'm going to preface this by saying journalism and activism is doing the Lord's work. Without them, the government would be able to completely control the media and force us to believe the most ridiculous things. So I don't know if you guys have seen the interview, but because of the lack of journalism over there, North Koreans believe in some pretty weird stuff. So like Kim Jong-il, he apparently invented the hamburger. He's a global celebrity and a fashion icon. He's cured AIDS, Ebola, and their family never has the need to use the toilet.
And he shoots 18 on golf courses too. Have you heard that? That's another thing they say. Yeah, he never misses. He shoots 18.
I heard that he ran a 3-minute mile.
Well, look at the way he's
right?
built. How could he not? He's aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Okay, so this story is about what Russian media could very well become in the near future. It's because their state-run media has a lot of control, and they give false information about the war in Ukraine. So there's this activist named Sasha Skolichelenko. I think I got that right.
Nice
She was arrested.
I don't know if that's right, but goddamn it, Robin, it sounds right.
I'm proud of you.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. So she was arrested because she was replacing the grocery tags in a supermarket with facts about the invasion of Ukraine.
All right. This is what I have on this. So this is the young woman who committed the crime. She's been sentenced to 7 years in a penal
7
community.
years.
7 years, and this is what she did. She put these stickers. So she replaced the thing you would scan with these. So one says, "Stop the war. The first 3 days, 4,300 Russian soldiers were killed. Why don't they show this on TV? Russian forces have destroyed 80% of Mariupol for what?" All this. So then last night when I was drunk after trivia, I was reading this and I thought to myself, isn't it great that I live in a country where this would never happen? But then I got sober and I realized the government doesn't need to do this because we police ourselves because we're brainwashed by capitalism. Now, listen, Robin and Jordana, you're too young to remember this, but we fought an unjust war. And the Dixie Chicks came out and said, you know what? I don't think this is weapons of mass destruction. I think it's a dumb war to begin with. And they were ostracized. People burned their albums. They didn't play their music anymore. They lost a ton of money. There's a great documentary on it called Shut Up and Sing. Michael Moore famously went on stage and said, we're not going to find weapons of mass destruction. This war is a sham. As it turned out, they were 100% right. But the American public ruined their careers. I mean, not Michael Moore. He doesn't give a fuck. But they cost the Dixie Chicks millions of dollars. So in Russia, Putin has to do it. In the United States, we do it to ourselves. And I think that's sad. What do you guys got on this? Anything?
At least there's free speech.
You think that that's a cycle that happens every generation, every 20 years?
Yeah.
You think that our older siblings, our parents also went through the same cycle where they were rebellious and then they eventually gave up?
Yeah.
It's a swing.
I have a question that I was wondering. I know you said Michael Moore and the Dixie Chicks. Did we get word on Ja Rule's thoughts?
I don't know about Ja.
We didn't. No.
I don't know that anybody knows what John's thinking.
Okay. Just wondering.
The backstory to that joke is Dave Chappelle talks about right after 9/11, MTV News covered the Twin Towers coming down, and they cut to Ja Rule. Like, what do you think? It was like the man on the street.
Of all people.
Of all people, we need to get.
So I said, you know what? Every life decision I make now, I say, what would Ja do? And then I proceed to do
WWJD.
That's right.
Ja Rule. What would Ja Rule do? Here's the thing, too. She's very brave, and I'm proud of anyone who fights against corrupt governments. But goddamn, man, Putin will. But stop. He's gonna fuck you up. He'll poison your tea. He'll send you to prison. Oh man, I don't know. I think your only hope is to leave. Right?
I think you got to get out of Russia and then do the criticizing.
Yes, he's one vindictive motherfucker. You can come over to Massachusetts and you can throw this shit everywhere. Nobody gives a fuck. Oh, at every CVS, every Walgreens, go ahead. Nobody cares.
It was a clever idea. I got to give her credit for that.
It was.
Oh, yeah. She's brilliant. Evidently, though, she has a heart disease and she's going to die in prison. That's what her lawyer tried to do to get her out of. But sad. We don't have many.
You think Vladimir Putin cares about that? I mean, I don't know the gentleman personally, but I got to be honest. I don't feel like he has the heartstrings to tug at. If I was just brainstorming here.
You know what? I don't think it worked because she got 7 years of hard labor.
He was like, "How long will she live? 5. Give her 7." Right. I mean, I'm just brainstorming here. I got to be honest. If someone said to me, "What do you know about Vladimir Putin?" I do not think he's a reasonable man. I don't.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Not at all.
For this, look at this. This is 7 years for this. My God, Russia. Woo! I'm starting to think they're unreasonable. All right, what else?
I know. I just know Eric's gonna get heated on this one.
No.
So I wasn't familiar with the term Freemasonry until last night, but I did search the definition, and it sounds pretty sane. So the Freemasonry idea, it aims to unite men of good character, regardless if you have a different religion, social class, or ethnicity. So they say you do have to believe in a god, any god, as long as you have faith.
Any god will
you have
do.
to believe in the brotherhood of man. So it's gotten light recently because a Filipino bishop asked the Vatican if it was okay because Freemasonry is becoming popular in the Philippines. And apparently, no, it's not okay. It's a grave sin. You should be excommunicated, and it is depraved and perverted.
Oh boy, thank you for setting this up.
Yeah,
so
Rodney.
for me.
Well,
No,
this is doing masonry.
You know what? I watched a 10-minute video on Freemasonry to understand it. It did have to do with masonry 6,000 years ago, which I had no idea. I thought it was just a clever name. But I was going to say, I'm going to start this by just thank God the Catholic Church. They're my moral compass. Anything the Catholic Church does, so I immediately quit my Freemasonry membership, and I'm going to head over to church on Sunday. I'm not going to do anything weird. I'm just going to pretend to eat and drink my Savior. I'm going to have some nice Jesus crackers. I'm going to drink some nice Jesus blood. Nothing weird like what they do at Freemasonry gatherings, right? I don't want to get strange. So I'm going to head on over to church, Catholic Church, and eat some Jesus. So thank you, Pope, for clearing this up for me. All right, anyway, so Freemasons, this is strange. this is a giant weird organization. I don't know what it is with humans where we like to be like secret and handshakes and passcodes and weird, dress like an asshole. What is it about us that we love this kind of stuff?
Is this the Brazilian steakhouse? This is the entrance.
They have uniforms?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Dude, they have uniforms.
Aprons?
They have
They're
handshakes.
aprons.
They have passwords. There's a book with how Freemasonry has changed the modern world. But now there's all kinds of infighting. So sometimes they don't want ladies to come. So that's been an infighting. They don't do anything special anymore. They don't sacrifice virgins. All they do is read minutes. It's like a BNI meeting or something. It seems very boring these days. But the places where they do it, that's a Freemasonry lodge.
So let me make sure I understand this correctly. You dress like that, show up here in the bank vault, and read minutes?
You read minutes about, yes, that's the thing. So you show up, you hang out with these guys, and they're like, well, what happened last meeting? It seems worse than a corporate meeting somehow.
This is a punishment, or this is, I'm confused. This is something people do? Because this looks like a nightmare.
I'm not going to lie. I feel if I want to attend at least one meeting with them, I want to know what to do in the one meeting.
I agree with you. Yeah, because so in the article, or maybe it was in the video, they talked about like at airports, they know other Freemasons. Like, I don't know if they wear a pin or they do their hair a certain way. Like he goes, yeah, I just walked through security because the TSA agent was a Freemason. Like I want that kind of privilege without having to dress like an asshole and hang out with these guys.
It's like Fight Club.
It's like Fight Club, but I would kick the shit out of these people.
It's like a fraternity for older men.
Yes. Right. I was a Freemason. Don't tell anybody, Aaron. Jesus Christ. Here's the thing, though, Robin. You know, it's like you said, it's a big problem in the Philippines, and I wouldn't have believed it. But the most famous Filipino, Manny Pacquiao, is a Freemason. Yeah.
Wow, that blows my mind because he's one of the most Catholic people I know.
Not anymore, baby.
He was.
All in act.
No more.
Whoa.
He hung up his robe last night.
Yeah. He only pretends to eat pumpkin spice Jesus crackers. In actuality, he's a Freemason. How do you feel about that?
He's not wearing the uniform, though.
He's not wearing the, well.
No, he's got a different apron on.
Yeah, no, these guys are Dallas.
I think.
These are the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Alternates. These are the alternates.
Oh boy, there's a lot of dogma associated with this. Like I heard in the meetings, like you got to go around, do the secret handshake while the guy talks. You're not allowed to say anything. I just hate ceremony in totality. Like I would like to be part of an organization where I have a lot of money and power, but I don't want to dress like an asshole. I don't want to sit there and listen to minutes. How do we fix? Do you guys want to start a cult? The five of us.
And here's the thing I would tell you is I would do sweatpants.
Sweatpants right now.
Yeah. Just optional. Just get in here, right? Well, show up and bring a couple dollars with you so we can
have a good time.
Some cookies. and tell us what's going on. Tell us what's happening. It's a story.
I did look up the difference between the delineation line between cults and religions. Do you know what it is?
Non-profit status?
Well, that's a big one. They didn't mention that. They did say, so it comes down to size and secrets. So cults are generally smaller. And in a cult, you need to join the cult to get the secrets of the cult, which I think puts Scientology squarely into a cult status. Like Christianity, there's the Bible, there's the Torah, there's the Quran. A lot of religions like, hey, this is what we do. But in a cult, there's secrets.
So hold on a second. So I have a couple of questions. So in Scientology, is the secret, I think the two highest held secrets are, when is Tom Cruise going to start making the Mission Impossible movies? And why in the world did John Travolta do Gotti? Those are the two most closely held secrets I'm aware of.
And we'll never know. We'll never know.
Yeah,
if one of us joins Scientology, Robin, I'm going to need you to join Scientology. All right, what's next? What else?
Here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so speaking about mocking religion, the story continues down that path. So there was a $26 million painting, and it was titled The Mocking of Christ. It was found in an elderly French woman's kitchen who had no idea what it was, just thought it was cute, and kept it as a decorative piece. So I'm not really sure how this happened, and neither are authorities, but they're bringing it back to the Louvre Museum because it's considered as a national treasure.
Now, you want to see this bad boy? This thing. So this lady had this in her kitchen. $24 million this thing is worth. And you go,
wow. Did we get any money?
I think, I don't know who gets the $24 million. I think it was put up for auction, but then it ends up at the Louvre. I'm not really sure how art works, but look at this. It's only 10 by 8. It's a very small painting. And I got to tell you, I don't think it's very good. I just don't think the quality here is.
This is 23 million?
24 million.
Wait till they hear about Home Goods. They are going to lose their mind. You could buy you might even be able to buy the company for that. Seriously.
All the artwork you could want, right?
Yeah. My God, you could start a printing press.
Yeah. Isn't this the dream, though, is that something in your house is worth 24 million, you don't know, and then you get it? This is what I'm convinced they were trying to do with NFTs. They were just trying to assign value onto some bullshit and hoping everybody would agree. Because not everybody.
Millions. How many millions was this?
It was worth millions. I think it's worth $4.23 right now, at last time I looked.
That seems high.
It's a little bit high. I just bought it for free. I screenshotted it.
I'm going to screenshot it.
You guys all have a piece of this.
When they came to me about NFTs and they said, you should get into this. And I said, I don't even want to say this to you because I feel like I'm better than everyone else. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, I know how to screenshot on my iPhone. You want me to show you how to do it? Must be a secret. I don't want to brag.
Did you guys, Jordana, Mo, you ever get into NFTs?
I did not, to be honest, but I think Mo did a little bit, maybe.
I got a little bit into NFTs, but I was very cautious about that. There was no value that I could have assigned to them, so I just didn't invest a lot. Maybe 4 or 5 NFTs I bought, but nothing more than that.
I just think it's confusing. I think they were just trying to make one of these art things, like baseball cards, for example. There's no intrinsic value, but there is an intrinsic scarcity. So there's some, and then there's not as many as you would like. So you want it, you have to spend a lot of money. This is just assigned value for the sake of assigning value.
Yeah, I think that exclusivity with access to yacht clubs and stuff like that had its initial charm, but once that died, I think people just started selling them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we're over that, and we're back to being totally rational people and going back to our Freemason society.
The dog people.
Yeah, now we're back to normal, thank God. All right, Robin, what else do we have in the old news?
Oh, a very rational person. So this was another classic case of let's ask Ja Rule what he thinks. So this rapper, I don't know if you guys know her. Her name is Azalea Banks. Apparently, she's a popular female rapper in America. So I've never heard her, and I'm happy that I haven't. Here's why. She said she's adamant on voting for Trump because, please, take a look at him. How many bankruptcies has he been through? How many wives? How many television shows? Seriously, nothing can take him down.
So she is I looked her up. I guess she had one hit in 2011. I don't really listen. I'm not.
Can you sing it for us? Give me a taste.
No. So I would. I just don't know. I'm not familiar with the entire catalog of Azalea Banks. I do love her acoustic stuff. I don't know if you've heard it. It's just her and a ukulele. It's beautiful in a lot of ways. So here's the thing. She thinks her pervasive theories that guns make us safer. So you know what I did? And listen, don't get me wrong. She's one of the brightest political minds of our times. Probably. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, all she would have had to have done is done a little research on this subject. I did. So they're going to take our guns away, right? And guns make us safe. Well, I don't know if she knows this, but the United States, and this is from 2017, these numbers have gone up, but this was the prettiest chart. There are 120 guns for every 100 people. So these days, they estimate anywhere between 400 and 700 million guns are on the streets in the United States. That's, at the high end, more than 2 guns per people. There's only 300 million Americans. There may be 700 million guns, okay?
Right.
I'm going to further expound on this. We represent, famously, 4.43% of the population. We own 42% of the world's guns, okay? So, what's her name, Azalea? Azalea, I think we have enough guns. So certainly, her thing is like guns make us safer, okay? You can argue all day about the Second Amendment, whether or not we should have guns or should not have guns. However, they do not make us safer. States with the highest gun ownership and weakest gun laws have the highest gun deaths, starting with all the red states: Mississippi, Wyoming, Louisiana, Alaska, Missouri, and Alabama. If only we
can't see the correlation.
There's now here's okay. So if guns make us safer, and we have all of the guns and the highest gun deaths, so where's the math not working out? Does anybody know?
No,
Now, one more thing. This gets dark, but I don't know if you know this. In terms of things that kill children in the United States, guns are number 1. And not only are they number 1, they're number 1 with a bullet. Look at these numbers, 5.6. Below that is Canada at 0.8. That's a goddamn atrocity. And if Azalea is right, there's only one solution. We have to arm the children. Don't you think this is the only thing that'll solve this problem, is if the toddlers have guns? But then I was thinking, you can't wait till they're 2. We have to arm infants. This is the only way. This is the only path to reasonability in the United States. Don't you think? I'm going to open up to the panel. What do you think? What do you think of my solution? Me and Azalea Banks have come up with what I think is a bulletproof thing we got to do.
Guns for tots.
We're really aging our children. We're giving them guns and vasectomies.
Yeah, we start them early. You know what? It's the Benjamin Button. It's the Benjamin Button theory.
There you go.
That's what we're going to go with. That we're going to age in reverse.
That's going to be the basis of our cult. That's going to be our platform: vasectomies and guns for children.
But it's a secret.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to know where you can get a gun and a vasectomy for your child? Head on over to the EricandRodneyShow.com. Anyone who wants a gun and a vasectomy for a toddler, I have great news for you.
They're
Mo,
free.
Giordano, you're in Florida? Where are you? You're in the East Coast or something, right? I looked this up, but I forget.
Jordan is in South Carolina. I'm in Georgia.
Okay,
North
so I know you're in the
Carolina.
American South. You guys.
And I'm from North Carolina.
I'm in North Carolina.
So, very nice.
I apologize. Jordan is in North Carolina. I don't know how.
And I'm in New York now.
North Carolina, South Carolina.
Enough, yeah. I heard you were in North Carolina. I said, I got to get out of here.
You gotta get out.
Get
I
out.
understand.
I gotta get out. Yeah. So.
I don't want to get too deep into a dark subject, but how's the gun situation down south? You guys like your guns, right? The American South, I've heard.
Yeah, definitely very popular down here for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a tough topic. I like guns. I would want to have a gun, but I would lean on the side of if somebody wants to take my gun away because for safety reasons, I would be happy to give it away.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a thing too that the Republicans always bitch about is they're going to take our guns. They're going to take our guns. We have never taken anyone's gun. There are 700 million guns on the street. Even if they started taking guns away, do you know how long it's going to take 700 guns away from people that have 700 million guns? It's never going to happen. So this weird fear mongering around losing your gun is just so backwards and dumb. No, Obama didn't do it. Biden didn't do it. Clinton didn't do it. Carter didn't do it. No Democrat is going to take.
They're all going to meet. They're meeting to do it. And here's the other thing that doesn't make sense to me, right? Is that, and I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
If you're taking away guns, you probably need guns.
Right.
Which would turn into a gunfight.
What's that called? A gunfight between many people. Is that a war? Is that what they call that?
I think we're on to something here.
Okay.
Solving problems.
So we're not going to have the great gun war of 2025. You're saying, okay.
We've got bigger worries. We've got other wars to fight.
What does Azalea Banks have to say about the great gun war? I know this kid's on my team. If we start him young, we're going to have the best soldiers.
Now, let me ask you a question. If Trump wins, this is a rumor, but I'm asking. If Trump wins, oddly enough, is she going to do the inauguration song or no?
She's joining the cabinet. She's going to be the drug czar.
Or is it going to be 3 doors down?
I love Three Doors Down.
or Kid Rock,
They're a good
or maybe
band.
the whole group.
Are Three Doors Down? They're a Republican band now?
Well, they did his inauguration tour.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
They sound pretty Republican.
The first time I heard their song Superman, I was in a strip club. That's dating myself. That just came out. It was very good.
Mm.
Anyway, what's the last story before we get to the EverSpark hour?
Okay. So this celebrity couple is nowhere near as famous as Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, but celebrity splits will always be publicized, and to our benefit, it's always quite entertaining. So Dean McDermott and Tori Spelling recently split, and the defamation has begun. So Dean is being called out for his alcoholism, and Tori for her weird dependency on household pets. Two of them happen to be a pig and a chicken. So I don't know how could you even share a bedroom with a pig and a chicken? They're really smelly and noisy.
I don't know. I don't know why we're talking about these two idiots. I didn't know who they were really before this, outside of 90210. So, but
Okay,
let's get to let's just start at the beginning. This dum-dum on the left was born to this guy. This guy's Aaron Spelling. He was worth $600 million. So then she gets cast in this beautiful TV show 90210. I know Jordan and Rob.
I love this show.
Yeah, you were never exposed to this. This was a wild time. Look at the fashion. It was just perhaps the greatest piece of art that's ever been on television. And she was included because Daddy did the show, right? But then somehow she manages to fuck up her life. She meets this idiot. They're both married. They smash the first night they meet. And so they start an affair. Turns out he's an alcoholic, a talentless hack. I looked up, he's most famous for hosting Chopped Canada. Listen, I will give all of you $24 million if you can name one person on the stage that isn't Dean.
Is Dean on the stage? Where's he at?
He's on the far right. So I go.
Wait, and I have a question.
No, go ahead.
Dean wasn't the weird guy Steve. It wasn't him.
Steve McDermott.
90210.
No.
Because I thought that was Steve. I thought that's not him on the far left with Jenny Garth, right?
Yeah. For those of you who've never seen 90210, a big point of contention was how old Steve looked and how old Andrea looked. So he's the one on the far left and she's the third one over. They do look way too old to be teenagers, don't they?
Yeah. Steve was like 42.
142.
Yeah.
He was very old.
Luke Perry was on Social Security.
But then the other thing, I was like, certainly Dean McDermott has done more to be famous. And it turns out he was in Santa Baby 2, Maybe Christmas. I wouldn't bother watching. It's get 37% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it does star a famous anti-vaxxer, Jenna McCarthy. So
I thought that was Reese Witherspoon's. Okay.
No, it's not Reese Witherspoon's. So anyway, their marriage fell apart because he's an alcoholic and she likes to sleep with, and I quote, pigs, chickens, and dogs. Dean says they shit all over the bedroom, and that was the beginning of the end of their marriage. Isn't that sad? Isn't that a tale as old
Is that for real?
Yes. He said one of the dogs.
I feel like the alcoholism is justified. How can you be sober?
You got 5 kids and you're sleeping with a pig and a chicken. I think you have to drink. How else do you get through the day?
You know what they should have done? But can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
They should have done a remake, Party of Five. Right? Because didn't the guy in there, he had a drinking problem. Right, Bailey? Here could be Bailey.
I love references to shows only you and I have watched.
And they have 5 kids.
No idea what's going on.
Right? Is that 5? Can I count? Yes, there's 5 there.
5 kids, yeah. Those poor kids, though. And the other thing, too, is she has money problems. How do you have money problems when your father has $600 million? That's a lot of dollars.
Another idea for a show. Bring her on. She tells us her troubles, and we call it 90210. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no.
You come up with this stuff on the fly.
Listen, I'm channeling Dave Chappelle this morning.
No, you're on fire. Okay.
Try.
You know what time it is? We're gonna give you an extra minute because it is time to talk marketing, specifically EverSpark. So, Mo, you weren't always the CEO. You've worked your way up. Is that right?
I did. I actually joined the company in 2009 as a UX. So just worked my way up from there.
And you've been the CEO for how long now?
3 years, 3.5 years.
Are you enjoying all the money and power and fame that comes along with being the CEO of a digital marketing agency? I know I am.
The first couple of years, yes, but the last year, it of course becomes a little bit challenging, tough. The agency, we've grown a lot over the past couple of years, so it becomes tough. Just have to support our team and help them keep growing. But no, we're definitely enjoying it as we grow.
Nice. And Jordana, you're the COO. Is that right?
I am. That is correct.
Are you enjoying all the fame and fortune and access to drugs, wine, all the men or women, whatever you're into? Is it everything you've dreamed of and more?
Absolutely, for sure.
It always is, isn't it?
It always is. So COO, that's Chief Operating Officer, is that right?
It is. That's correct.
What's involved in COOing?
Everything that Moe doesn't want to do. No, it's really a little bit of everything, honestly. Every day is different. Some days I feel like an HR person. The next day I feel like a web developer. So it's really all over. I kind of have my hands in everything that we do at the company. So every day is different, which I like.
Mm-hmm. All right. And you guys specialize in so digital marketing, but specifically for law firms, healthcare, and SaaS companies. Is that right?
Yeah, we specialize in those three industries, especially law firm. That's how the company was started back in 2009. The partners at the firm back in 2009 actually pitched a group of lawyers why they should be spending on SEO, and we had like 10, 12 lawyers sign up in that first pitch. And then since then, we've had a DNA inside the legal industry.
Well, it's kind of genius too, because it allows you to geo-target ads as opposed to just go everywhere, right? I really think that's the last bastion of like you do SEO SEO, and it works really well, because if you're doing it and somebody isn't, then it's going to be huge. And a lot of, I would imagine, law firms are behind when it comes to marketing. So if you just get them to baseline, they're going to crush it, right?
Absolutely, exactly. I don't know how you picked that up so quickly, but exactly.
Well, I own an agency. I know how this works.
So yeah, I mean, law firms are ideal company for us because they usually are very local. They're going to be in a state. They'll be in a few cities in a state. They are looking for big cases, and they typically have revenues that are up in 6-7 figures. So they want to spend in local marketing. So
that's another genius, because lawyers have money. Like, that is the sweetest.
Yeah. I have a question. Is there a specific type of lawyer, or if you practice law, come on in?
So the most type of law firms that we work with are personal injury law firms. These are dry lawyers that will go and settle cases where, God forbid, if you were in a really bad drug accident and you got badly hurt, or somebody lost their life in that accident. Those settlements can be upwards of 5, 10, in some cases, $30, $40 million. So our clients are looking for those cases.
That makes sense.
It's genius. So so me and the other sales guy ended up buying this agency from the owner, but one of our very first clients was this pest control guy. And it was very hard to convince him to spend money, because he was spending something like $100,000 with the Yellow Pages. This was back in 2012. And he had zero interest in the internet. So we thought, oh my God, once we convinced him, he was fucking crushing it. So we thought we should just do pest control everywhere, because it's the same thing, it's geo-targeted. But these blue collar companies have a real aversion towards advertising online, or at least they did back then. But I would imagine lawyers get it, right? And they have money. That's such a sweet spot. I wish, can I steal that idea? You don't have a Boston branch, do you?
What if it was plastic surgeons?
Oh.
So we work with a few plastic surgeons in Florida. I think that I think their marketing does drive them those clients they're looking for, but also it's a lot of word of mouth that they get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even with the attorneys, a lot of them are still very against digital marketing. It takes a lot of convincing to get them to invest in something like that. A lot of them are still very much into traditional marketing with like billboards, TV commercials, radio, things like that, which serve a purpose as well. But it is interesting how many of them you have to kind of get on board to go the digital route.
Yeah, I think they're famous for like shitty commercials. Like, have you been hit by a truck? So, but he doesn't it make more sense instead of like, I have been hit by a truck, I better sit in front of the TV until a lawyer says, what his phone number is. I think today most people go online and go, I've been hit by a truck. Is there a personal injury lawyer out there somewhere?
Yeah.
Or maybe even on their phone.
Maybe.
Right? Maybe they're like laying there and they're like, I'm underneath the truck right now. Who can I speak with? Is there anyone? You know what? After I get up here and walk around for a bit, I'm going to look for a billboard.
No, you know what? I start watching CBS. I'm just hoping for a commercial around 11, right after.
Will anyone come on?
So
it's the only way to target it, right? I was going to say this, right? Digital marketing is the only way to measure, right? Like I can't measure how many people see the billboard. Is there a way to do that? I don't think so, right?
that we that's one of the pain points that we sometimes come across, because typically our clients are not running billboards. Some of our clients do run billboards, but yes, that's an argument that we always come up against. How do you measure success from billboards? Yes, you can have a vanity phone number that you can drag, and then you can tie that back into your branding campaigns. But how many phone numbers do you remember off a billboard? Tell me one phone number that you remember.
Zero.
Only Celino and Barnes. I'm joking. That's a law firm here, but yeah, it's like 888888888, right? Yeah.
We know them. So yes, some law firms who are like spending a lot on marketing, their phone numbers can become memorized.
Yeah.
But usually billboards, good if you want to get your name and branding out there, but people are still going to go and search in Google when they're looking for a lawyer. And then they're going to be able to tie that back in, because they can be like, oh yeah, I saw this guy on billboard. He's close by where I am. Let me give him a call.
Yeah.
The beautiful mix of many marketing tactics. You can't silo. No siloing. That's bad.
You can't keep MySpace down. No, sir.
I do all my advertising on MySpace, and I'm killing it. Can we talk about scalability? So you said that you've gotten a lot of business. You're growing right now.
Yeah.
How do you market? Are you SEO to the hilt? Or are you doing email marketing? What are you doing?
Billboards.
It's a secret sauce besides billboards. You know that's cool.
I want to run a billboard for our company, a place where lawyers run billboards, and I want to run EverSpark's billboard and be like, hey, lawyers, stop running billboards.
Oh, that's smart. Use their own tactic against them.
You can say, don't injure yourself. You can say, don't injure yourself with bad marketing. Let us help you.
I didn't get enough support from people, so I think I need to go back with this idea. I'm getting a lot of support here. But thank you. But the scalability, because you guys don't mind if I go a little bit back in the history of EverSpark.
I wish you listen.
We want you to.
This is the evening gown portion. This is where we want to get deep into who you are and what's happening.
Sure, absolutely. So with the agency being here since 2009, I've seen cycles where we grew, and then the partners of leadership of the company at that point didn't know how to scale. We didn't have a sales team that was going out there and actively going and looking for, hey, we need more clients, because we got clients through word of mouth in the beginning, and everybody was like, oh, EverSpark, they're doing a good job. But then we didn't have any sales tactics. We didn't have any email marketing, no SEO for ourselves, no paid ads for ourselves. We went to a few trade shows, picked up more clients, but never really had a good sales and marketing strategy for ourselves. So I, of course, learned that. But then, of course, the other side of things was the training, the account managers, the client services. How can we make sure that they're in sync with how Jordan and I how we run our accounts? We want to make sure that our team further down runs the accounts the same way, plus making ourselves available to our clients. Being on some of those client calls, it's difficult. But we have 35, 40 clients, but we try to be on as many calls as we can. But I saw the company not doing so well in 2015, where our revenue shrunk by 250, 300%. We had to do massive layoffs. We're a company of 32, 33 people. We had to lay off and become a company with 6 people, 3 partners and 3 employees. Yeah. And it was very frustrating to see that we had no tactics in sales, no marketing. So that's when I became CEO, and I took everything over. And I was like, the first thing I'm going to focus on is the pipeline. If we have sales, if we have a pipeline going out there, we can solve everything else, because we know we're good at SEO. We know we're good at paid ad campaigns. We know how to run a strategy. So those were the first 2 things that I was able to solve: have a sales and marketing team, and have an operations team that can execute a strategy. Once we had these 2 things happening, then we can build on top of that.
So what were the first sales tactics? Like, how did you get that out? How did you get out there and build your pipeline?
I think the most important thing was having a voice in the legal industry, because there are companies that could be offshore who could do your SEO for $1,000 a month, but that's not what a law firm, say, who's in Los Angeles or Chicago or Miami needs. These are very competitive markets. Celino and Barnes probably spends $1 million a month in paid ads and SEO. So when you're competing up against a law firm like that, you need a lot of skills, you need a lot of knowledge, expertise. You need to know what happens if Google is going to ding you for something and you're going to be back on page 50th of Google. How do you get back on page 1 of Google to get more of those rankings back? So finding that voice, explaining to lawyers and law firms why they need marketing, why they should spend on SEO and BTC, and then explain to lawyers why tracking is so important. That yes, you're spending money on paid ads and marketing, but what is that resulting for you? And being able to tie the revenue back we were able to generate case studies, and we were able to generate clients who were fans of ours, who were able to go and just say those things for us out there. So that allowed us to create that voice, and then our sales team was able to go and latch up on that and have our voice on LinkedIn, calls, emails. Hey, check out this case study that we've done. We've got results. Call our client down here in Atlanta and ask them how they're doing. So got that little structure going, which has been really good for us. And of course, having KPIs and goals and making sure that we hit those.
Do you so with your lawyer clients, do you have a set package, or do some people just do SEO and PPC and other people just do content or email, or like how do you approach it?
No, we don't have any packages, because again, if we're going up against and Barnes in their market, we have to compete with the budget that they would have. If
Right.
we're going up with Morgan in Atlanta, we're gonna have to compete with the budget that they have. So we're not able to have any packages, which goes back to the scalability aspect of it. I wish I was like, hey, you fit in this package, and now you get X, Y, and Z. But we've kept the very hands-on approach. We create every proposal custom based on how competitive the market is.
Yeah, see, that's frustrating. So, like I mentioned, me and the other sales guy ended up buying this agency, and I think what planted the seed of the guy that sold it is every year he'd get this, like Forbes puts out this thing, top whatever companies in a certain industry. So we'd always look at digital marketing, and he'd look at the profitability, but then he'd look at how much they were making versus headcount. And the numbers, no matter how much they made, the headcount went up. So it was always the same, whether you have 10 clients and 3 employees or 30 and not, you know what I mean? So it's a fucking tough industry. And if you can't figure it out, there's no hope for me. So what are we going to do? I think the only hope is we start a law firm, SEO for ourselves, get ourselves
Injuring
more
people.
or, oh shit, that's a good point. We
We got to injure
more
people.
Yeah.
We'll do the injuring. You do the.
So
That's
we're
the only
missing the
way.
middle piece. We're missing the lawyers. We'll do the injuring. They'll do the marketing.
Yeah.
But we need the well, we can find.
We have ChatGPT.
Yeah, there you go.
Robin could whip us up some cases.
Well, interesting segue to ChatGPT. Are we worried as marketers with ChatGPT because it's already writing all the content? I would imagine at some point it's going to be able to optimize every page. What are we going to do?
Prompt it.
No, that's a good question. It's interesting right now because obviously with ChatGPT and all of the different iterations that have come from that, it does a lot, like you're saying. But I still think at this point there are a lot of unknowns, and that's kind of what we explain to clients too, especially when it comes to writing the content. Google hasn't been super forthcoming about, the way that they will treat and rank that content from an SEO perspective. So we're still very much kind of navigating that along with everyone else and figuring out like what is the best way for us to use it, and which ways are still kind of in that gray area. So I think for us, it's been a lot about finding ways to use it for productivity, ways that it can help us with scaling and tasks that someone doesn't necessarily have to sit there and do anymore, and we can use ChatGPT for that. But in my opinion, I don't think something like that would be able to replace, everything that we do in its entirety. I imagine we're a long way away from that.
I know we're at least 2 or 3 weeks away, so I'm hoping in 2 or 3 weeks we can figure out the solution. I think our only hope is if Google just doesn't allow, if it somehow it can tell if a robot wrote it, right? Because other than that, I mean, weird.
Well, they can, yeah.
So the robots will tell if the robot wrote it. So then when you just tell the robot, make this. So then we would tell the robot, you just say, make this so that Google can't detect you wrote it.
This is the problem. The robots are going to team up with each other, and then we're fucked. Terminator. It's all Terminator.
The machine's going to come alive.
So you do video production, whereas I think is one of the last vestiges of a machine can't do that yet. It can someday. We're all going to be avatars, but we're not. This we have some time on. So you also do video production. So you do everything, right? You do SEO, PPC, email, content, video. That's
yes.
How many of your clients use everything, and who's doing video, and is that working better? Are the clients that use video, are they outperforming those who don't?
So the way we use videos is whenever we're making a new website, we love to have photography done for our clients because we want to build their websites around some of their lifestyle and how they are in day-to-day life. So we want to build the websites around a lot of those photos. So one thing that we started doing is Paige in our team, she actually does our video and photos. She also shoots videos. So we like having attorney profile videos where they talk about themselves, what college they came from, why are they in the law. But then we also like making hero videos for lawyers because we want users to see what this law firm is about. Why do they back this law firm? Why I should go to this law firm? How are they going to help me? And are these lawyers who are going to go to trial for me and fight for me? So we make those videos and photos for our clients specifically when we're doing these law firm websites. But outside of that, we don't really use like small, quick videos for social media platforms or for other marketing. So it's solely more based towards website development.
I watched some of your YouTube videos, and one of the other, I don't know if he's the co-owner or something, older white fella. He makes a brilliant point, which is like, time on page is a big ranking factor. And if a video is 4 minutes long and somebody watches that, that's 4x times whatever they were going to fucking read, right? So it's real smart, but that's one of those like insider baseball things you have to try to convince people. They don't even know what SEO is. And then you're talking about on page time. They're like, shut the fuck up. I just want more clients. Can't you just get me more clients?
Yes. We definitely have clients like that. It scales. Some of them are super knowledgeable about what we do, and they really want to get into the weeds of dwell time and things like that. And we can, speak that language. And then we have other clients that they don't want to see how the sausage is made. They don't care at all. They just want to know that they're getting leads. So
those are the best clients. Just pay me and shut up. And that's the other thing we talk about all the time. Marketing is one of those things where everyone thinks they can do it. Yeah. No one knocks on the cockpit door and goes, do you think we should be at 30,000 feet? Wouldn't 35 be better? No, you just sit down, you give them money, they get you from point A to point B. In marketing, everybody has a goddamn opinion. I don't know why they hire us in the first place in a lot of cases. You just fucking do it then. Do you feel that with lawyers?
It's true,
lawyers,
yeah.
though, yeah, but lawyers have they have shit to do. So I would imagine, are they still a pain in the ass? Are lawyers pain in the ass clients?
So lawyers can sometimes be a pain in the ass, but typically, just the way Jordan was saying, they let us do because they know we're good at what we do. So they just keep us on track. They know they're getting cases to do their marketing, and they let us do what we're good at.
Yeah.
You ever go, I don't tell you how to get murderers off. So don't tell me how to keyword research, sir.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is because obviously for a living, they are paid to poke holes in things. So sometimes that includes what we do. They try to poke holes and argue, and we are essentially on trial with them. So
they're like, you can't handle the truth. I'm trying to tell you the truth. Listen to me.
I'm glad you're preparing us because we're going to start an agency doing exactly what you do because it's such a good idea. We're going to do, listen, we're going to do it worse. Don't get me wrong.
Robin's buying the domain name now.
Yeah.
This is just a brainstorming, absorbing knowledge episode.
Once we figure out how to spell SEO, we're gonna launch right in. We're into it.
You guys are in trouble. All right. So, what are you in terms of? Okay, let me back up. I went to your Instagram page. You seem like you're a culture-y kind of agency, like you hang out with each other. What's the work from home, work from office situation going on?
Ooh, that's all Jordan.
Okay. So right now we essentially are completely remote. The majority of our employees are in the Atlanta area. I'm actually one of the few exceptions that doesn't live in Atlanta, but still driving distance. But we try to get the team together quarterly. Obviously, working remote has its perks.
Do some things, hang out with each other.
A lot of flexibility. We're still able to be super productive, which is great. But occasionally we want to get everyone together. That culture aspect is still really important to us. We want to make sure that people feel part of the team, and that contributes a lot to us being able to scale and get work done as well as we do.
I saw you did some Christmas bowling. That's exciting. You do something very strange. This was like a goodbye lunch. When we fire people, we just have security escort them out. So I don't know if you want to consider. What the fuck? Listen, you quit, get the fuck out of here. We're not
usually grab them by the seat of their pants.
Exactly.
Help them out the front, or maybe the back. It depends.
We do.
So you guys are still doing this? You're bowling? I mean, I think this was 2021, but it's
we do, pretty much every quarter we do a team outing with everyone. Sometimes it's bowling, sometimes it's laser tag, top golf. It's all over the place. We're a very competitive company. So
interesting. Well, listen, I don't know much about scalability, but I do know this, is that hiring Americans is not scalable. So I'm going to tell you something. You might want to get out of the greater Atlanta region and go to the Philippines. Robin, do you know anybody that knows SEO? They will work for pennies on the dollar. It's unbelievable. It's great.
Robin pays us to be here.
I do.
So, yeah.
It's funny. Actually, one of our first dev teams was out of Philippines.
There you go.
And we had a lot of fun working with them.
It's a global economy. Robin's never been to the United States, so this whole podcast is about raising funds for a plane ticket.
Yeah, we're trying to get him here.
I learn
We've,
more and more every day.
So far, we're up to. So far, we've got $9.83. When we get to 1,000, though, he's on the first plane.
That's right.
I've also never had jalapeno poppers. That's what the background is.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
why
show
the
is
hell,
just
yeah, with a
antagonizing
constant
me
reminder.
until I
He's
get
never
there.
had cream cheese either.
Makes sense.
No counts.
So, with the lack of scalability, where do you see the agency going? Do you just want to grow exponentially and just hope for the best, or what's the plan?
No, we've set goals for ourselves, and these are goals that these are just not arbitrary goals. We want to keep on growing. We are working with about 35, 40 law firms. We're also exclusive. So when we work with one law firm in one market, we do not work with another law firm in the same market because we
Slow down. So you're saying that I could work with another competing? Oh, this is because 35 to 40. There must be a million. There's a lot for us. Robin, write this down.
So let me ask you a question. What is an area? Is that like a state or like if I'm in New York, right? So like if a lawyer hired you, say, or maybe I'm sure you have clients in New York. Let's say you had a client in New York City. Does that mean New York City's done?
New York City is done at that point. So we don't really define. I mean, I would say the closest thing would be how TV channels break out the markets, right? They're call them DMAs or they call them along those lines. So I would break it down that way. So once you are in New York City, we do not engage with any other law firm in there. Especially, it's bizarre because I cannot be managing your ad spend and then also managing somebody else's ad spend in the same market against that. Or I cannot be doing SEO for you and then also helping somebody else also come and compete against.
Yeah, no,
there's only one number one spot.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
but hear me out. Let's pretend we don't have any ethics because I don't. What if we clone all your stuff exactly? We just come up with another name and color scheme. We go into the same markets. We get the competitors, and you just siphon off a little bit of our retainer. You know what I mean? That way you can. I mean, it's not exactly ethical, but it's not. It's capitalism. Isn't that what this whole thing is built on?
No, yeah. I mean that's.
I'll say you don't have to answer now. I'm just saying, think about it. You already have the secret sauce. Why not double dip? You know.
I know. We have to reject a lot of our clients that come in, prospects that come in, and it's something. Well, but also on the other side, those law firms that we work with. So going with the New York City example, most of the law firms that we do work with, we help them expand more into the state. So we not only do we lock out that city, we also lock out like other cities around you because we know they're going to help you grow in those cities too. So for example,
that makes sense.
So we have a client down in West Palm Beach. They have expanded into 5 new markets since we started working with them, just down the panhandle. So, but back to your question, Eric, I think we work in about 20 states right now, 15, 20 states. There's a lot of room for us to grow. You know, we don't have a client. We don't have as many clients in the West Coast, so we're looking to grow more on the West Coast. So our goal is to have one law firm per state for us, a big dry law firm, and we have a lot of room to run and get there.
What has been the most effective way to get new clients and open up new markets?
I think a strategy that we recently tried was to have our clients sell for us, where we were able to go and ask them, hey, how did we do for you? Can you shoot a video for us? We sent Paige down there. They shot a video with them. They explained the impact that we were able to make for the law firm. And we took that and we used that in our email marketing campaigns on LinkedIn in sales outreach. And we were just able to show other prospects, hey, you know, these are other actual lawyers who are seeing these results. So that was very helpful for us.
So video marketing through traditional channels. Somebody said once, they were like, the play button is still the most compelling call to action ever. And I totally agree. Like, someone sends you a video, you're going to watch it, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing?
Yeah, especially if it's
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's one of my peers who's talking about how, because the big thing with lawyers is trust. They want somebody that they can trust long term and they can rely on you. They know that you're out there looking for them. Once lawyers have built that trust, it's very difficult to break that trust with them. So that's why other lawyers really heed to the peer advice.
God damn. So you've niched, you're using video, and then you're sending it everywhere. I think you have a future in this game, this marketing game. I think you might be onto something here. Having said that, there's no scalability. We have to figure
We're
out
no marketing doctors, but it seems like you're onto something.
Have you brainstormed, like, when you're dealing with the scalability issue? Do you ever think, I just wish I had a product, just something that you could, like, I don't know,
So,
Like a Google.
like a
yeah,
we're divorced high.
I think one thing that I did not want to do was I do not want to distract myself from the core of our business. We've got staff, we've got amazing people who work for us. We have understood the scalability within that environment that we have, and we know that we can keep on scaling that. I did not want to distract myself by going into a product and trying to make packages or a tool that people can do. So want to keep us focused and build over there. But however, Jordana and I have been working on some other lead gen projects that are investments for EverSpark on the site. So we're trying to generate leads for ourselves in different industries so we can go and sell those leads to other companies in that industry. So we can do ads for ourselves, just how we were talking about in the beginning, open a law firm for ourselves. So we're trying to do something along those lines for ourselves.
Did both of you want to get into marketing when you were younger? Was that a thing? Were you like, oh shit, this is what I want to do, or did you just accidentally do it like the rest of us?
I wanted to get into it since like late high school. So I took some marketing classes and was in, some extracurricular activities related to that, and then went to college for marketing, and now here I am. So.
All right, so that's an interesting question. Did you accidentally see an episode of Mad Men or something? You're like, that's what it's gonna be like. 'Cause that...
I did not. Ironically,
I found it.
Yeah, because that's what happened to me, and that it's nothing like that. So I guess my larger question is, I thought marketing was going to be cool, but it turns out it's spreadsheets. Like I read Ogilvy on advertising. I'm a big George Lois fan. No one's ever going to read a book I write because it's just going to be like Excel spreadsheets. Oh, this is very interesting. I thought marketing used to be something very specific, and I think it's very different now. And I was just wondering if you guys thought maybe it was going to be more cigarette smoking and secretary pools.
No, honestly, for me, because I started from UX and graphic design, so I used like logos, used to love fonts, how they're laid out, how colors are used.
Yeah, that's a little bit of what I'm talking about, right? Like that's the kind of exciting stuff. And then now
it was. I used to work with people who used to make 3D animations of cars and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, you know what? At one point in my life, I'm gonna be like a 3D animator. I'm gonna work on games and stuff. But I kid you not, I work in spreadsheets all day. That's what I do.
Yeah, we live in Excel. I do too.
On spreadsheets.
Yeah. Don't you love how like when people will always be like, and I'm not in marketing like you all are, but I remember it used to always be like, can the logo be bigger? And like, the logo should be smaller, not bigger.
Well, that's the thing. I just thought marketing was going to be big campaigns, Super Bowl commercials, and it turns out it's keyword research. Like, what happened to this industry?
It is different, but I think that's honestly part of what I like, especially about SEO, because I knew I wanted to do marketing, but I didn't know. Obviously, marketing is very broad, and you can do a lot of different things within it. But what I like about SEO is the strategy aspect, and that's what attracted me to marketing in the beginning. I love the problem solving and kind of the puzzle aspect, which is very much what SEO is, because Google is infuriating and you figure out things one day and then they change their algorithm and you have to do it all over again.
Nobody ever knows who changes the algorithm though. No one. And I have some pretty good friends at Google, and I'm like, who's in charge? And I'm like, and I got pretty senior one time, and I was like, who is the person? Give me their name. It's the department. Who's in charge? I don't know.
I think it's Manny Pacquiao.
No idea.
It's the Masons.
It's the Masons.
It's the Masons. It has to be the Masons.
It's the Eric. What's that organization we started? The Union for the Bathroom Attendants.
No, the non-unionized freelance bathroom attendants. Because we love attending bathrooms, we love handing out soaps and spritzes of perfume, but we don't want to be held down by a union. We want to do it. We want to do whatever we want out of it.
We won't let Jeff Bezos control us. No, sir.
Oh, exactly. We're rogue. All right, well, we only have a minute or two left, so do you guys want to plug your own business? I mean, listen, I think this show is going to get you at least 35 to 40 more clients. Easy.
Yeah, easily. They're probably already signing up.
That's right. You guys, who wants to do the pitch?
Jordana.
Take it away, Mo.
All right, if you are a law firm who is not in one of the states that we work with, you're looking for marketing, EverSpark Interactive does legal marketing for law firms. We work with SEO and paid ads for law firms. We help law firms generate more business through those channels. So If you're looking for a marketing agency who can take over your marketing, EverSpark Interactive, EverSparkInteractive.com is our URL. But you can reach out to Jordana, me on LinkedIn. Steven is in business development. You can reach out to him on LinkedIn.
Beautiful. And if you are a law firm in one of the states they already have a client, head on over to the ericandrodneyshow.com. We're gonna have a landing page very shortly. We're gonna listen. Things are happening. Anyway, thank you very much for being on the show. Don't leave. Can you stick around in the green room for a couple minutes? I have to sign off the broadcast because LinkedIn does a hard 1 hour cutoff. Anyway, we will be back on Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye, America. Hold on, I'm gonna hit the button.